This is what I like right here, an RS Roadster, the very first Boxster Roadster that's an RS. And it's got that 4-liter flat 6 engine making almost 500 horsepower. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Austin and you're back on the Speed Phenom YouTube channel. And today we're gonna find out if this is a car for a Speed Phenom, because when you look at it, it's got all the upgraded track gizmos you get out of like the GT4 RS, but this isn't that coupe. It doesn't have the roof. That roof is gone. It actually weighs like 17 pounds and I've tucked it away out behind those 2 seats inside the cabin. I mean, when you look at it right here, it's got all those track upgrades with the YSAC package that I personally love, like the big carbon fiber hood with those dual nostrils right there, a perfectly blended in Porsche logo on that carbon fiber hood. It's mean. It really is mean. It's also expensive. It's a $210,000 vehicle, price as tested here in this video. I just want to find out, based off all the cars we've experienced here in the channel, because we're all about going fast, we're all about trying to find the thrill and extracting that to the furthest capability that we can here on the channel. We love going to the track, and we've made quite a lot of RS track tests, whether we're driving like the GT2 RS from the previous generation or the newer 992 GT3 RS. Even I drove the new GT4 RS back to back with the GT3 RS, so the 911 version versus the 718 version on Palm Springs Thermal Club Raceway. It was a lot of fun and they drive completely differently. That's going to be a highlight with this vehicle here. It's got that almost 500 horsepower 4-liter that you'll find basically in like a 911 GT3, but it's a mid-engine car, similar to a McLaren, a Ferrari. So a lot of people in the Porsche world, they like to look at this and go, this is the ultimate version. I'm very excited. So today we're gonna do a walk around of this vehicle and find out if it's really worth the money compared to the other cars hitting the market right now. So this being an RS, you do have those NACA ducts right here on this carbon fiber hood. They don't really increase drag that much, but they are designed to really give you extra brake cooling for the cooling overall when you're driving and running the car hard for, let's say, spirited driving. You always have to make sure that you're making your brakes get as cool as possible, because when heat builds up, that's when you get brake fade and that's when you can't really slow down. That's not what you want in this kind of a car. Elsewhere, throughout the whole front end, you have a whole new front splitter down below with incredible side skirts almost that wrap around the front fascia with these little slices and fins inside. Reminds me very much of the GT3 RS, for that being said. The aerodynamics are really cool to see because I love the ground effects. Ground effects can go very far. A lot of the magic actually happens underneath cars like this with fins, but that's a whole, that's another topic completely. Anyways, you do have these big louvers right here as well, which help to relieve all that high pressure air right here within the wheel wells. But there is a caveat. You do get occasional rocks like built up around the louvers because there's just a massive opening, and when your tires are rolling real fast or picking up rocks and it's just being thrown upwards. So you do have a little bit of a meshing right here, a little grill that blocks the rocks, but you're still gonna get them come through. Okay, so finally we've got a side profile view of this Porsche Spyder RS. I mean, this car looks really crazy, doesn't it? It's super tiny. You can see how short this wheelbase is from those front magnesium wheels to those rear magnesium wheels, which save like 20 pounds, by the way, of unsprung weight. Massive weight savings. You want that if you do track this vehicle. You definitely want that. Anyways, this vehicle should feel so lively, I think, just being tossed into corners because the wheelbase is so short. And if you don't know, if you track, let's say, a vehicle that's bigger than this, longer than this, it takes longer for those back wheels and tires to follow the fronts when you turn. So theoretically, when you go to a tighter track, like let's say Streets of Willow, this track here would be so much fun. It really would be fun on that track. It's tiny, it's lightweight, it's low to the ground. You could toss and flick it really effectively. Quickly for the stats again, yes, it's got a version of the motor pulled out of the GT3, making 493 horsepower with 331 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 is about 3.2 seconds. A quarter mile is 11.3 seconds. So it's pretty quick for not being their all-out, just fastest version on the market. This is really all about just pulling some of the, well, a lot of the RS elements out of the GT4 RS, putting it into a more street-dedicated model with that soft drop top. And Porsche does say this was envisioned from the factory to be more of that street-going Porsche. So the suspension is softer than the GT4 RS. It's more just designed all around the street and having fun, because it doesn't have all that rollover protection that a standard GT4 RS would have, or a GT3 RS, because, you know, the top is basically, it's gone right now. Talking about top speed, it'll go to 193 miles per hour. I'm not sure where you can hit that. We're in America. We don't live at the Autobahn. So that's just a quick rundown for the side profile view of the vehicle. Let me just get out of the frame, actually, and then point out these massive side air scoops behind the driver and passenger. I'm a really big fan of this wide body look for the front end, where the fender kind of protrudes up and above the tire, but it completely gets hidden away just like the Porsche GT3 RS. It makes it look more like a super fast-moving racing silhouette of a car, doesn't it? I do have to say, you're gonna wanna get this paint protected 100%, because you're gonna have a lot of rocks and debris hitting the paint job of the vehicle. If you wanna come by here at Speed Phenom Film, we can definitely take care of you with that as well here in our PPF studio. There's a lot of cool cars working all the time, so if you wanna find out our contact info, it'll be linked in the description down below for PPF, ceramic coating, and window tinting. Anyways, moving on from that, let's go to the rear. There's just so much carbon fiber on this car. You have carbon fiber right there for those side scoops, and then coming out back, yes, you have the carbon ceramics with this build right here. The magnesium wheels look really menacing. It's got that satin, just dry finish. The only part that'll be really hard, I think, to live with is if you work on your car yourself. When using center locks, you have to push really hard with the pressure, because instead of like spinning 5 lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds, you've got just one massive one in the middle, so you have to put way more force into it. I mean, if you own a car with center locks, let us know in the comment section down below. Is it difficult? Do you like it? I mean, for the sense of speed, this is the fastest, I would say. It could be easy if you get used to it. Let me know your thoughts. You can get super sticky tires with this vehicle. This one is running Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s, which are going to be a good street tire, but also mainly focused to give you as much grip as possible. It's a summer performance tire. They're pretty wide, actually, for seeing how small this car is. It's 295 wide for the rears. I do want to add one other point. It's that this vehicle, they've widened out not only the front track, so it's over 1/4 inch wider. It's like 0.27 of an inch. And then the rear track, for how far out, let's say, the wheels are from either end of the car, so it's pushed out more towards the edge of the vehicle, it's like over 0.3 of an inch, meaning the vehicle is going to feel more stable when you're turning into corners, because the car, it doesn't shift as much because those tires are positioned further outwards towards the edge of the vehicle. This is designed to be a street roadster, and so far it's got everything I'm looking for. It doesn't have one thing I think it's missing. This ducktail back here looks really cool, I'd say. I wish you get the whole thing in carbon fiber, but you just can't. Just see that edge strip is in carbon fiber. All the carbon is really nicely done. On the exterior, it's all this gloss carbon fiber with the weave everywhere. Even out here, where it's like these mini rollover bars behind the carbon backed exposed seats. But elsewhere in the interior, like where you're looking, they've shifted the change of carbon, so it's like a matte dry carbon. That works really well when it comes to driving, because it's not super reflective. I know with my Corvette Z06, it was super reflective. I mean, it was like just very bright. It's kind of like all the rest of the carbon you see here. You can see the reflections right on that side with these big air scoops. Let me show you actually with this massive rear top. To open it up first, to pull on these red straps, push them all the way out on either side, and then once I get that open, let me pull out the key. It's really cool. It's always that little silhouette or just mini version of your car. Hit this button right here, and then next thing you know, you can lift it up. It's massive. It was freaky the first time I did it, but I'm gonna disappear in like 2 seconds. Ready? Bye-bye. But if you can't still see me, right here is where that 17-pound complete soft top gets tucked away. And the main part that connects to the edge of like where your visors are, that is carbon fiber too. It's nice how they have that finish in carbon. to get it all out and put it back on. I'll show you shortly, but make sure you do it correctly, because otherwise you won't be able to close this whole rear hatch. It took me a few minutes with one of the team members with this vehicle to get it figured out, but thankfully we did get it figured out, and it tucks away very nice. I think it's really well engineered for having no upgraded mechanical components, increasing the weight of the vehicle. This weighs like 60 pounds less than a traditional Spyder, so that is a massive weight savings. So right here in this Porsche bag, we have some of the components for that soft top. Yes, we had to pull some pieces off and disassemble it, but I'm hoping that when I put it back together, it's not too difficult. You have a lot of storage space with this vehicle. As you saw at the front, there's a massive opening, and then out back, the same thing can be said. I can fit my massive camera bag right here in the trunk. And you have access to your oil back here. And then I think on that side, what does it say? It says water, is it? Yes, it's coolant right there. Anyways, guys, that's a full tour from front to back of the new 718 Spyder RS. Let's take it out onto the street and see what it's like to drive. I mean, this vehicle does look super menacing. I do have to say, I love the Spyder RS logo, and it's perfectly stuck onto the paint. The exhaust pipes are going to be extremely loud. I've heard these before. You're going to love the noise, so we'll make sure to capture that properly. I think it's about time for us to get inside this vehicle, shall we? And let's get on the road, see what it's like living with this beast. I will say one thing, when you're getting inside of this vehicle, the seats are very tight with these buckets. I love it like this because like the position, you're fully sitting upright and you feel like you're ready to take some corners fast. It's a proper sports car, no compromise, right? There is no substitute to Porsche. But on the flip side, if that's not what you're into and you want just the utmost comfort, these seats would get a bit hard to get in and out over and over again because you're just sitting so low inside. I love the red Alcantara everywhere with the red stitching. This is the way I'd order it. It's just called Race Tex actually from Porsche. This is just perfect. I mean, the colors, the yellow accents for the RS model for Porsche looks so good. The matte carbon everywhere. This thing is just simplistic. It doesn't have all those special modes like track mode, this and that. No, you just have all these buttons right here. You have loud exhaust, front axle lift, PDK for sports. So it changes up the shift logic, increased dampening for suspension. Then you have ESC off or ESC with traction control off. This has like the smoker's package, so you have this right here. Moving on from that, you have the infotainment system, which has full Sirius XM. Also, it just is modern. Compared to what the 718s were years ago versus now, this is the best they've ever been. Looking through here, I love seeing how there's no buttons on the steering wheel. It just is plain, just Porsche right here without place to honk. Other than that, you can't mess around with anything. Or the only thing you can do is upshift or downshift. The pedals aren't too big, but I like the metal feeling, and it's like a soft metal feeling to them where they're cold when you touch them. Moving on from that, on the doors you'll see tons of carbon fiber that wraps around through the dashboard. Right here where you have the Weissach package logo with the cup holder, so push in right here, and then this is how you pull out with the cup holder. So it's like all blended in so well, isn't it? Let me close this up. I'm not sure if that's gonna be so stable for when you're driving that you're gonna put a big gulp soda or just anything in there for corners. I feel like it'll just fall off. That's why I don't really want to bring a drink in this car when I'm driving it. Elsewhere, I do want to comment, I feel like I'm sitting super low in the cockpit where my eye line is right above the steering wheel and it's just perfectly hunkered down where I feel like I'm inside the vehicle. I'm part of it. I'm not sitting on top of it. Some cars feel like you're way on top or way up back, or you're sitting so straight up and down you're on like a bench. This isn't like that. You also have the super lightweight and race-inspired red straps for the unlock button for the doors. Whew, that's a quick rundown. That was fast, wasn't it, these seats? So I love them, and they have that RS logo right here with the track layout. Porsche, you guys did a great job. It feels like fine jewelry in here, and I can't stop smiling. Everything looks so well engineered. Let's actually get that little mini Porsche into the left-handed key slot because, as you know, it's on the left side because of racing. And let's get driving, shall we? Loud exhaust turned on. Let's do it. Let me just lock up the shop real quickly right here to my left, Speed Phenom Film, and then let's get on the road real quick, explore Carlsbad, get some feel to see what it's like to live with this car where the sun is going down a little bit with like this overcast on the beach. We're like literally right here on the coast, guys. I mean, the water is right there. It's like a 6-minute walk. It's crazy. Wow. Oh my gosh. I even pulled on the torque gauge right here on the right side. It shows RPM. That is so cool. What other gauges do we have? So we have temperature gauges, the Sirius XM for satellite radio, location, that's pretty cool. Then we have trips, or our miles per gallon. Not too bad. Let me leave it on PSI. That'll be really nice to see. Here's Chick-fil-A. Wow. It sounds so good. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is like something that I would love to drive every single day. I've been in so many different modern sports cars, especially ones that get more into the track ethos where it's very focused and it's trying to be super stiff and crazy all the time. Don't get me wrong, this feels focused and crazy, but it's not too serious. The suspension, even though I have it in like the stiffest setting, it's very smooth right now. The PDK in this mode is very abrupt, which I like that. It like kicks me, it wakes me up, which is really cool. We're actually like not even a mile away from the local Porsche dealer. There's a Porsche dealer right there, so I wonder if they have any Spyder RSs, and then the coast is right here to my right. But look at this view all around us. I mean, this feels like a roadster. I'm loving it. Too bad the sun's going down, so stay tuned for the next video where I'll give you like the full proper just breakdown. I want to see how this thing stacks up and comes together, where we're driving it aggressively, tossing it, going through the RPM, and really getting the full experience out of the 9,000 RPM red line. But this is more just a day in the life. You're not going to be doing that every single day, are you? And right here, we're on the streets, you know, regular end of the day lifestyle type of stuff. I'm going to drive by the Porsche dealer, stop by the bank, get some food, and let me just see, like, is this something I would drive every day? Because I would not drive my McLaren just casually. There's no point. It's too crazy. Does it give you that blend where you want to do everything with it? Drive on the street daily with an RS where it's not track first RS. This is street first RS, right? Oh my gosh. The steering is light, makes the car feel agile. I barely turn it. It's not the fastest steering ratio, I would say. It's, you know, it's nicely weighted and it's not too quick, but it's just smooth. The whole car feels like an extension of you. And I see that a lot of the times in vehicles, only when they really can achieve that. And I think this is achieving that. It really is. What I noticed with this is that it doesn't give you the buffeting noises that drowns out the entire sound in the cabin. Usually with these roadsters or drop tops, like in the Corvettes, I mean, you can't hear anything inside the cockpit when the roof comes off. It gets very loud even on the freeway, but right now, we're not going too fast, but I can't even tell that the top is off except for I can feel it, right? Porsche! Oh my gosh, this thing is amazing! It's addicting, it really is addicting. Right, turn to my left is the ocean. We're right here on the coast. Here we go. I mean, you're definitely making an entrance with this car. It's that loud. I mean, everyone's got to be hearing this thing. You're sitting outside. Oh yeah, 100% they are. Now, drive-through time in a Porsche. I mean, you could live with it. I mean, you don't want to get hit by anybody, of course, but for this type of stuff, it ain't too bad. The whole cabin is staying very warm right now. It's crazy with the top down. It's like 57 degrees out, but my feet are like on fire. For livability-wise, you can leave the top down in the dark, and it's not too cold. Can I get a 2x2 and ketchup instead of spread, and then fries and a cup of water? The only problem with this kind of stuff is that bringing a nice car to a drive-thru, you have all these tight corners and everything, but the thing is so small though. I mean, I'm not really close. If I hit one of these curbs, I mean, these are magnesium wheels, so well over $10,000. That's a lot of money for wheels, and they're special. It's like carbon fiber wheels. Imagine curbing carbon fiber wheels. That'd be crazy. There is one perk with this car for living with it every day. It's that I can put my foot completely off the brake and it doesn't move. So usually in these types of cars, when you release the brake, it'll start progressively driving forward, accelerating, but nope. Right here, I'm in drive, just sitting back, waiting now. And track-focused cars or very performance-focused cars, oftentimes they tune that in. Like with a long-tailed McLaren, like a 765 or a 600 LT, it'll do the same thing where it just sits. It doesn't want to move. Well, I just made it back inside the shop. Yes, the cup holders do work for fast food, which was great. Yes, daily driving and just living with the Porsche 718 Spyder RS so far has been a lot of fun. It just has so much sense of occasion. I hope you enjoyed watching this unique just behind the scenes video. Stay tuned for my full test when we take it to the mountain ranges to really give you guys a cinematic review. It's a lot of fun getting this car properly out and about in environments where it's designed to be. This is just more so what you might experience on a day-to-day basis. This car would be really cool to just drive to work, enjoy for that drive, and then after work get some dinner and then head on home. Does it all. Hits all the bases for being an RS, which is really unique to say. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button to help me out and subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. While you do that, the notification bell, it's straight up to date with all the new videos the second I post them. Thanks for watching again. I'll see you in the next episode.